Boeing face criminal charges. The Department of Justice is wrapping up its investigation into Boeing and its 737 MAX 8 jets. The company could reportedly avoid criminal charges stemming from two deadly plane crashes. Now, the DOJ is reportedly looking into other ways now to ensure safety and compliance with the company. Boeing's CEO recently testified on Capitol Hill with the families of the crash victims behind him. Here were his comments directly to them.
And I apologize for the grief that we have caused. And I want you to know we are totally committed in their memory to work and focus on safety.
Under the deal, independent federal advisors would oversee any issues and protocols at Boeing. This is normally called a deferred prosecution agreement. Aviation attorney Patrick Montoya joining us live on this. Patrick, thanks so much for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Help us understand the context here, because in 2022, the DOJ lost a case against a Boeing employee. You say the DOJ is leery to prosecute again and lose.
That's right, Natasha. The 2022 case is the basis of my opinion. Essentially, what's going to happen is a lot of the same evidence that the DOJ used to try Boeing in that case, they lost on. So it's going to be basically a retrial of that case, but more against the corporation itself than the individual pilot, who was actually found to have been lying. It was a test pilot, and the jury still found him innocent. So DOJ is looking at this like, well, why would I be doing this a second time with the same type of evidence? And the balance they're probably looking at is, shouldn't we be having more monitoring of Boeing? Now, the problem with that is, as you know, is even with this 3-year deferred prosecution and 3 years of intense monitoring by the FAA, with the FAA on site in Boeing's factory, in their documents, in their books, you're showing the pictures now. They still had a plane or a door fly off a plane. And now, just 2 weeks ago, there's new allegations about fake parts, fake titanium from manufacturers, and the papers and the certificates of conformity were faked. So I think what's going through the DOJ's head is, let's get more monitoring. Let's make this airline safe and not take the risk of another trial failing against Boeing, which would give Boeing a significant victory.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the DOJ is also under intense pressure from all of these grieving families of these victims. Does that play into the case and the outcome as well?
Natasha, you hope it would. Over 300 dead. The weight of those families at that hearing, they've been waiting now for years, and they've been told this deferred prosecution would help make Boeing safe, yet Boeing can't seem to get out of its own way. It's every few months or weeks we're seeing something come up, and it seems that the corporate culture is broken there. You heard the CEO testify on Tuesday before Congress. He's a lame duck CEO. He steps down at the end of December, and all you keep hearing is apologies, we're going to do better, we can do better. But they're not doing better. And this needs to be a zero tolerance policy. This is not, I've said it before, this is not a plumber fixing pipes and it leaks and you've got some water on your floor, somebody makes a mistake. These are aircraft. You can't make a mistake. You cannot afford to make a mistake. And you can see those poor families sitting there. So is there pressure? I think there is, absolutely. But I think it's less than a 50% chance that you'll see the DOJ go for a criminal prosecution. Do I think that they will do more intense monitoring? Do I think that they may find them heavier? Yes, I do.
If there is some version of a deferred prosecution agreement, so no criminal charges at this time, put that in layman's terms for us. Is that essentially a get-out-of-jail-free card from the DOJ?
That's what I like to call it. I think it is a get-out-of-jail-free card. Now, look, it's very hard to put a corporation in jail, right? You're going to have to look at some of the folks there, see if you can pinpoint them. And again, DOJ has lost that already. So, yeah, is Boeing getting out of jail free? Yes. So what are the pressures that the DOJ is looking at? You know, Boeing is a major economic force in this country. They're the third largest defense contractor in the country. The bombs that they're using in the Gaza Strip are made by Boeing. There's a Starliner in space that's a Boeing plane. To take down Boeing is akin to taking down, the DOJ took down Arthur Andersen years ago, and it devastated the economy in parts. Enron's another example. So we have to be very careful when we're looking at these major economic engines and what pressure points are there, too, for the American public.
There are major implications there. And by the way, the Starliner situation, also not perfect. 2 astronauts stranded right now, and Boeing's name attached to it again in those headlines. But Patrick Montoya, really appreciate your time tonight. Thanks so much for coming on. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.